Hey gamers, if you like solo games with a little bit of puzzle nature, then you might want to check out Forage. In this game, you'll be laying out different cards and overlapping them with the same fruits or vegetables on top of the same one so that you can try and lay out different dice and bring up those pips as much as possible. You will want to be careful not to put the wrong things on top of each other because that will cause you to put out mouse dice or possibly the little mouse token, which will ultimately lose you points. You can also add in the recipe challenge, which will give you target scores as well as some different things that'll ask you to do or game or score modifiers of some kind to add a little bit more challenge into that. This game is part of a series, and I've previously reviewed Grove, which is part of the same series, which I really liked. And this was very similar in many ways. That overlaying of the cards to try and put out dice and trying to keep overlaying them in order to bring those pips up more and more is very, very similar. But this does have a couple of changes, which I enjoyed. I liked those split areas because it gave you more choices for where you could kind of lay cards, but it also meant that if you were putting dice out on those cards, on those sections, then you were going to be cost a couple of points there because it is a little bit easier. I also liked that you could, the same thing, you could put the wrong thing on top of another section if it was just to help you get farther in other sections, but that will cause you to put out those mouse dice, which is going to have some negative points as well associated with those. The recipe challenge, same thing, was very similar. Of course, the different modifiers or things like that are going to be unique to this game, but it was a very similar challenge to Grove. So, like I said, they're both very similar, but I like both of them. I think that they're unique from one another enough that they're worth switching between and playing one or the other. I thought that because of the split areas, because of the negative points, this one felt a little bit more restrictive in ways. I mean, at the same time, it was less restrictive. Those split areas and allowing you to put the wrong sections on top of each other meant that you kind of had more wiggle room, but those negative points are really intimidating, so you don't necessarily want to do that. So I think that there's a good push and pull with that, and it works really well. If you like solo games and you like that puzzling out things, then this one's definitely one worth checking out. It is still on Kickstarter now, and you can check out my full review on the blog today and make sure that you get yours in time.